What is going on, guys? It is Zombie Wars, and welcome back again to another video. And today, we're going to be talking about the Tokyo Ghoul chapter for Dead by Daylight. Now, before we get into this, drop a like on today's video and leave a comment in the comments section down below what your thoughts are on the Tokyo Ghoul chapter. And what do you think about the Ghoul? Do you think he's a good killer? Do you think he's a bad killer? What are your thoughts on him? Anyways, I just want to say this as a, I guess a killer main's perspective. I love the Tokyo Ghoul chapter. I honestly think that behavior blew it out of the water with this chapter, and this was a chapter that I originally wasn't really that excited for because I knew about it for a while because of leaks. And the thing is, though, is that I wasn't really into Tokyo Ghoul. I didn't watch it before we knew for a fact it was coming into the game. I eventually did watch it when it did get added, which I'm happy I did. I wasn't really excited for this chapter, to be honest. After playing it and seeing everything there is to it, it honestly is one of my favorite chapters that behavior has done in a very long time. So first, I just want to say that as a killer, he is really fun to play as, and he's really strong. I think it's very easy to like cut off survivors by dashing in front of them to basically cut off like vaults and pallets. And it's also good for like when you hit a survivor and you drop them in a chase to go after another survivor. It's really quick to go back to the original survivor that you were chasing originally, just because he can just like swing across the map like Spider-Man in like 2 seconds. It's actually really crazy. We don't have any DBD killer that is as fast as the Ghoul. Whenever I play the Ghoul, I play as like a stealth and aura reading Ghoul, and I just feel like it is so incredibly broken to play as the Ghoul that not only the survivors can't hear, but also he can see them at all times. I just think it's absolutely broken, and it just feels so powerful to play as them. It really does. Also, in my opinion, I think the Ghoul has some of the best chase music and menu music in the game so far, which is hard to really rank because I feel like Dead by Daylight has really good music on so many different characters and collections, so it's kind of hard to me to say like it is my favorite menu music, but it is definitely up there. The chapter also has some skins, and I bought the Rize skin, which is really fun to play as, A, because I just think Rize is really cool, and B, I really can't stand Kaneki's screaming. I can't. I think they toned it down a little bit from the PTB, but I just still don't like his screaming. It just bothers me, so put on Rize for that reason. And it definitely is nice not having screaming every 2 seconds whenever you use your power. Also, along with Kaneki, they also added Rize as a killer skin as well, which is really cool because I love when behavior does these legendary skins and adds more like characters into the game. You know, the Rize skin is really cool. They did a really good job at getting Rize into Dead by Daylight. I think she's one of the coolest legendary skins in my opinion. So I'm going to be running her every time I play as the Ghoul because A, she's awesome, and B, I just really don't like Kaneki's screaming every 2 seconds. They definitely tone it down from the PTB, at least it feels that way, but it's still a little much for me. This chapter also did just set a new standard for Dead by Daylight, and that's that manga and anime can both be in Dead by Daylight as official chapters and not just cosmetic collections, just like the Attack on Titan and the Junji Ito collab. So this opens a new realm of possibility of licenses that we can get in Dead by Daylight, such as like Chainsaw Man, Death Note. I even saw people saying that JoJo should come into the game. I think that one would be a little crazy if we got like Tunnel by Dio or something. No, it would be really cool to see stuff like Chainsaw Man in Dead by Daylight, especially now that we have a protagonist killer. I definitely think they can find ways of making protagonists such as Denji from Chainsaw Man into a killer as well. There's just so many new things they can do now that they open the door with not just doing cosmetics, but full-on chapters with anime. There's so much they can do now. But I'll save that for another video because I don't want to get too into that, but that is a big deal in my opinion, is them doing their first anime chapter. So now I want to talk about the bad of the chapter, and I don't really want to say bad because it just sort of is the general vibe that people have with the Ghoul in Dead by Daylight, and that he is really not fun to play against as a survivor. Now I do want to say it only has been a few days since the Ghoul has been released, so it is still going to take time for Ghoul players to get their Ghoul on and, you know, do new stuff like new techs, and it's also going to take time for survivors to learn how to counter against the Ghoul properly as well and learn, you know, different things they can do to screw around with the Ghoul. However, here's the thing, it just is a fact, and the fact is that the auto lock that the Ghoul has is not fun, even for killer, to be honest. So the Kagune that the Ghoul uses is an auto lock, and it's just not rewarding as a killer. because you can lock onto someone from like a mile away, sometimes barely even looking at them, and you just insta-click, you lock onto them, and you damage them. It's a free hit, essentially. And this can even go through like walls, so you can hit a survivor with your Kagune through a wall and still damage them, and there's really not much they can do about it. And this is the main thing I think they need to fix about the Ghoul, if anything, because I think things like him going ahead of survivors and blocking pallets and vaults is more of a mind gaming and strategy thing rather than him just getting free hits for no skill whatsoever. I feel like if he's going to get any value from his speed, it should be things based on skill and not just the killer giving you a free hit. I mean, if you think about it, the killer is essentially an M1 killer. He goes faster than any other killer in the game, including the Blight. And I don't think a killer like that needs to have some sort of auto-lock feature to hit a survivor, because it just makes it way too easy, especially for people on PC who are skilled at this guy. It just makes it too easy. I don't want to say I'm some pro Ghoul player, because the Ghoul just came out, but it feels like every game I get into as the Ghoul, I get at least a 3k, and usually it's a 4k by like 3 or 4 gens, just because of this auto-lock feature and just how fast you zoom around the map. It just isn't good. I want them to keep the Ghoul zoomies, because I feel like that is the fun part about the Ghoul, but the auto-lock feature is something that I feel like survivors really don't like, because it is a free hit. And for the same reason as the killer, I don't really like it, because it feels very unearned. It feels like I'm just giving it, and I just don't think it's healthy for the game. It is really exciting though that we do have a killer that is actually top tier for once, that people really enjoy playing as. It's a really fun killer to play as. Like, he is honestly debatably up there with killers such as like the Nurse, the Blight. He is really good. I'm just really afraid that he's going to get nerfed and changed completely, and I really don't want that to happen, because he is a fun killer. I just think that they need to focus on him having that zoom ability and him swinging around the map and not just locking on the survivors. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why that needs to be a thing. I think it's a problem, especially with your auto-lock feature, where even I as a killer am sometimes surprised I even hit someone because of how far it is or the angle. Sometimes it just does not feel right. I think maybe if they made it actually work the way I think they had it in mind, it would be good to have in the game, but the way it is in the game now, I'm surprised it even made it to live, if I'm being honest. But no, this chapter definitely seems like it has a mirror to the divide of killer and survivor, where a lot of killers really like this killer in the game, but a lot of survivors really do not like this killer, and I know a couple friends of mine who play Dead by Daylight all the time that just do not want to play right now because the Ghoul, he just isn't fun to play against to them, and, you know, with it being the release, a lot of people are playing him right now. As a matter of fact, I remember when I first started playing the Ghoul, when he first came out, everyone kept going next because they didn't want to play against the Ghoul because it was a slide like every game. The Ghoul has definitely changed Dead by Daylight in a way that we now have a new realm of possibilities for the game, that being anime chapters. It also changes the game in the way that we now have a new top tier killer, unless, you know, he gets gutted, or somehow people find like some crazy way to go against him and just make him unusable, which I doubt that's gonna happen. So, yeah, no, we have a new really strong killer. Like I said, he's kind of up there with killers like the Blight and the Nurse, but it's only been a few days, so I don't want to seem like I'm jumping the shark here. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, leave a like, new to my channel, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace.